welcome to once again another edition of Soar Motivation. In the next 14 weeks, I shall be taking you on a journey that seems different, but yet very refreshing. About 4 months ago, just after I have completed my last book, I made a conscious effort, conscious decision, not to even think about publishing another book until sometimes in 2019 or beyond. But as you know, you can have your own plans. You can have your own lofty ideals, your own thoughts. You can put your own dreams together, the aspirations that you want, the way you want your future to go. But God has a way of superimposing His own will upon our lives. He has a way of taking charge of our destinies, our future, and our dreams and aspirations. He has a way of putting Himself right in front of every step that we take and every step that we make. He has a way of making us see past our nose. He has a way of making us see and understand our own visions. Whilst shuttling on board Spirit Airlines from Virginia to Dallas 3 weeks ago, enjoying the flight, I was deeply lost in my own thoughts. I had this revelation that was very refreshing. And it said to me, Junior, just because your dad and your mom did not parade the earth with the title of a king and a queen slapped on their foreheads does not mean that you were not born to be a king. And just because you did not grow up playing in a castle does not mean that you were not cut out to become a king. Indeed, it made some sense. Because it is in the attitude. It's all in the mind. Becoming a royal is a way of life. You don't have to be born with it. You don't have to have the title on your head. It is a way of life. Whatever you conceive yourself to be, whatever you think of yourself, whoever you think of yourself to be, that is exactly what will manifest on the outside. Because even the Bible says that life and death is in the tongue. And when you look at other scriptures, faith-based scriptures, the Quran, the Torah, the scriptural books of the Hindus, the Buddhists, they all have a point of commonality. They've all agreed on one thing, and that is the power of your word. That whatever you think of yourself to be, whosoever you think of yourself to be, that's exactly what will reflect on your outside. There's this story about a bird that was so tired, the bird had to find an emergency place to rest. And when it found one, it was on a branch, a familiar place for all birds. Now, whilst the bird was resting and enjoying all the scenic views that the branch had to offer, whilst the bird was resting, enjoying the safety and protection from dangerous animals, guess what happened? A wind blew, a very strong wind. And the tenacity of the wind, the intensity of the wind began to sway the branches. And it felt like the branch will snap into half. But none of that bothered the bird. The bird wasn't scared. The bird did not worry itself because it believed in two fundamental truths. One was that the bird believed in its own power, the power of his wings. He will survive. He will rely on his own wings to fly until it sorts itself out. The second fundamental truth that the bird believed in was that worst case scenario, it will fly and take a rest on another branch. Now the truth about this story is that it reflects what is in us as human beings. It shows our self-confidence, self-determination, courage, self-esteem. And you will not understand who you are until you're brave enough to take a leap of faith. You will not understand what is in you until you are bold enough to develop your self-esteem and your self-worth and your confidence, and to have the courage to do the things that you've never done, and to have the courage to do the things that you've never thought that you had the power to do. Until you let go of your grasp that's holding on to physical structures that are holding you on the ground, you will not understand how fast and how far you can fly. Now, we all have branches in our lives. We all have branches in our own forest. And at some point, we've all relied on some of those branches for safety, for protection. At some point, we have all held on to those branches because that's the only branch that we can rely on. Whilst it's important to have some of those branches in your lives, because many of us still do have branches around us, while it's important to build certain branches around you, but I want you to understand that those branches never last. They are just there for temporary measures, temporary solutions. The only branch that you will come to realize that will last forever and ever and ever is the power that lies within you. You are the only one that will not disappoint you. You are the only one that you can rely on. You are the only one that can take you to the next level. And you are the only one that is standing between you and your breakthrough. You are the only one that is standing between you and your royalty. If you understand me too well, if you've lived with me, you will know that there are two things that I've always hold on to. And these are self-esteem and self-confidence. You can take everything else from me. I can gladly give you everything that I own in this world. But two things that I will die with are self-confidence and self-esteem. Because I believe strongly that after everything else has failed me, after all the decks have been stacked against me, these two things will help me to start life afresh. These two things will help me to get to my final destiny. Now, these two things are not things that we can see, but when you look at yourself in the mirror in the morning, in the afternoon, or at night, you will begin to see them in your own reflection. These two things cannot be touched, but they affect you in your daily lives. These two things cannot be heard. You can't hear them. But when you speak to yourself, when you talk about yourself, you can almost begin to hear them. And these are called self-esteem and self-confidence. Now, people might say, well, it all boils down to arrogance. They might begin to give you all kinds of names, put all kinds of adjectives around you to make you feel sorry for yourself, to make you feel pitiful. They might begin to give you all negative connotations. That he's full of himself, he's egoistic, he's an elitist. But what I believe is that regardless of the nomenclatures or the descriptors that have been used on you, the taxonomy boils down to two things: self-confidence and self-esteem. People who lack self-confidence and self-esteem are quick to label others when they see others prospering in those two characteristics. They are quick to make it look all petty. But once you believe in yourself, you will just dust it off. Because you believe that you are a royal. You believe that you were born to be a king. You believe that you were born to be a queen. And if you were born to be a king and a queen, certain pettiness are beneath you. Beloved, there are times in our lives when we get to our own crossroads and do not know which way to turn. Don't know if we're to go forward, backward, or sideways. Some of us are lucky to continue in the right directions. Others are confused. They got stuck where they are. But if you're one of those that are bedridden with challenges, with disappointments, with low self-esteem, and low confidence, I'm talking to you today to believe in yourself. Begin to believe in yourself again. Begin to believe that you were born to be a king. Begin to believe again that you were born to be a queen. You are a royal. If you can't see it in yourself, I can see it in you, that you were born to wear a crown, that you were born to wear a robe, that you belong in a royal castle. If only you could believe in yourself, if only you could believe in your unique capabilities, if only you can believe in your unique abilities. God has not brought you this far only for Him to abandon you. God has not brought you this far only for Him to turn His back against you. The fact that you're still walking, the fact that you're still talking, breathing, it's because you have a mission to accomplish on earth. The fact that you're still alive shows that you still have a destiny to fulfill on earth. And you can always begin to fulfill that mission now. It is never too late. If only you can believe in yourself. If only you can believe that you have the power within you to do whatever you choose to do on earth, then you will begin to stop the internal bleeding that you're going through right now. If only you could believe in yourself that you have what it takes to be the best that there is on earth, then you will begin to free yourself from your own fears. I know sometimes it's difficult for one to free themselves from their own fears, but I want you to know that you are the one standing in your own way right now. You are the one standing between you and your beautiful future. You are the one standing between you and your royal throne. You are the one standing between you and your royal crown. You are the one standing between you and your royal kingdom, your palace. But it begins with you. It begins with you freeing up your mind. Beloved, I have decided to share a bit of my own personal story with you today, hoping that some of you are going through challenges in life. Some of you are at a crossroad, just like the bird. You need to make an emergency decision. I know what my own challenges are. I know what my own unique situation is. I know what the circumstances are that I have to go through on a daily basis. I don't know what yours are. I don't know what you are going through right now. I can't even guess your present situation, your present predicament. But all I want you to know is that yes, you can begin again. Yes, you have what it takes to be the best that life has to offer. I'm encouraging you. If this message has touched your heart, if it has blessed you, please feel free to share it around. Send it to a loved one. Send it to a friend. Share the link. And see how God will continue to bless you.